everybody. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to be, I think, mostly done coughing. Yay. I'm so happy to be outside with my beautiful tree, Nakama, my favorite tree. I'm so happy to be this beautiful, gorgeous weather. So a little bit late today. I apologize for that, but my younger one had been here for spring break, and he left yesterday. And his older brother arrived for spring break yesterday. So we had a little bit of a handoff going on yesterday. It was really great, and so I've been enjoying. My older one is here with a buddy, and so I just been really enjoying having them in the house and just hanging out and catching up with them and just talking about, whatever, and helping them plan out their time while they're here in town. So it's just a joy when your kids get old enough to be friends, and I don't have to worry so much about you know parenting, but I can enjoy them as people and as humans, and it's just really my kids really are some of my most favorite people, which I'm very grateful to be able to say that. Um, so lots going on. So tonight is the full moon. So we have the full moon portal open, and we're going to be able to see that beautiful full moon you'll be able to see tonight. Hopefully you had an opportunity to get outside and see a little bit of the moon last night. At least where I live, there was an amazing ring around the moon last night. It was just beautiful to see. So gorgeous. And then tonight you'll be able to see the full moon. So keep in mind that our energy goes up as we get closer and closer to the full moon, and we're looking at the things that we set our intentions for the new moon and the things that we'd like to manifest and create and bring into our lives. And so that energy goes up as we get into the full moon, and then the energy is going to come back down as on the other side of that. So that full moon portal is going to be a couple of days. It's not like, okay, we were talking about this last night in one of the women's groups that I facilitate. It isn't, energy is not like an on-off switch. So you get the energy, it's on, like the portal opens, and it's going to be open about 48 hours. Okay, so it's not like, we're full, now we're not. So you're really going to be in that place of that energy for a while. So enjoy it, relish it, feel the love of it, and also understanding that even with that, tomorrow is where Mercury retrograde is going to end. So after tomorrow, Mercury is going to go back direct, and a lot of people are going to cheer and throw a party for Mercury going back direct. But what I want to say about that is that as Mercury goes back direct, it isn't a switch. It isn't like, okay, we're direct, all the craziness is going to stop, and it doesn't really work that way. So as Mercury goes back direct, there's going to be about a week of that storm of energy settling. Okay, so as Mercury catches back up to us, and that energy is going to shift, and it's going to really take about a week for it to settle. So remember that in the retrogrades, these are things that are happening, things that are coming up, things that are being shown to us that are for us. They're not, it's not happening to us. And I love that because it came up in the cards again today. So I want to get into talk about that. I always like to try and leave a couple of minutes in the beginning in case of some, I know people, the way Facebook works, it doesn't show that I'm live right when I go live. So I know it takes a couple of minutes. And see, and then there popped up Jan. Hi, gorgeous. So I always wait a couple of minutes because I know it takes a minute for Facebook to let you know I'm here. So I did want to share just that little bit about the moon and about the Mercury retrograde. So just hang in there because it is really going to be in that full moon portal that we're going to be entering in right now, and that's going to take us in for like the next 48 hours, and then into that Mercury retrograde, the end of the Mercury retrograde, so yay. But again, keeping in mind that ending is really, again, it's not instant, it's not anything with that are in our energetic world. Nothing is like bam on or bam off, and so you have the end of that Mercury retrograde, but that energy is going to take about a week to really like digest itself and come back into something normal. So if you're feeling the effects, if you're someone who's really feeling the effects of that retrograde, just know it's okay, and that it is, everything that happens in the universe for us is happening for us. And that's a huge difference to the way we normally look at things. We're so programmed to be like, it's happening to me. Why is this happening to me? Why did this happen? Why did this have to happen to a nice person like me? And we use that word "to." We use that word a lot, and it's not. The universe is not happening to us. It's happening for us. And so all those things that are happening in a Mercury retrograde is all of these things that are bringing us things to the surface for us to be aware of, things to the surface for us to understand. So one of the gifts that I got through this retrograde was really a higher understanding of being able to love people for who and what they are, because so often we put these expectations on people that they're simply not capable of expanding into and holding that space for us. And so then we condemn them, or we condemn that they're not truly my friend, or they don't truly love me, and we condemn them for the space that they are trying to hold, rather than loving them and accepting them for that space, and understanding that we can find that answer somewhere else. Lizzie, what a fantastic question. Thank you for asking that. Yes. Can a Mercury retrograde make grieving especially hard? You bet it can. You bet it can. If you follow me at all, you'll know that I lost my twin flame, passed away just before Christmas, just before our birthdays. Grief comes in waves, where there's days that are better and days that are not better. And for sure, these last few weeks have just been, the waves, you kind of get through, and then all of a sudden you're in a retrograde and the waves are a lot more rough. So yes, absolutely. But the retrograde, again, is really trying to show you something. It's trying to bring something to the surface. So I really had to sit with that grief and say, why do I feel like I'm drowning in this? Why do I feel like I can't get past this? And because, it is a deep loss, and a profound loss. And every loss is different, and everybody grieves in their own way, and nobody has the right to tell you you're doing it right or wrong or any of that. But really, when you're going through that, and a retrograde does make it, we feel things so much more intensely. Other portals, like the Lionsgate portal in August, and the 12/12 portal in December, and the 11/11 portal in November. So all of these things can make those energies feel so much more intense for us. But it's important that when we're feeling that way, whether it's a retrograde or why, whatever the reason, but especially in retrograde, to really look into that and say, what is it that the universe is trying to show me? And so for me personally, I really looked at that, because I felt like my grief was stronger, at the same time, my ability to sense him around me was less. And so I really was like, wait, stay, where are you going? Come back. And I really had to look at that, and it was given to me. We have these profound conversations that can happen for us when we're in that period of retrograde, where the universe just plops that person right in front of you to be the exact right person to tell you the thing that you need. And so what was given to me, especially regarding grief, was that sometimes we have to let go. Hi, Tracy. Mwah. That sometimes we have to let go of, again, that expectation and holding on to that loved one, to let go of that so they can go off and do what they need to do in the world of spirit, in order to be in the position to bring back to us what we need. And I really thank my friend Brian for helping me really come to that understanding just this weekend, that the more I was clinging to him, the more I was clinging to my twin to keep him close to me, because that's really the desire of my heart, the more I was keeping him from his being able to work in the world of spirit to actually benefit me. So, long answer, but yes, Lizzie B, the Mercury retrograde can make it harder. And I'm so sorry for whatever it is that you're grieving. Truly, I am. But I would tell you the same thing that I've been telling myself and many other people, which is really take a minute to look into that and see what it is that the retrograde is trying to show you and trying to bring you, because that realization for me was so helpful, of knowing, okay, my grief is worse, but there's a reason for it, and this is why. And really coming to a different understanding about it helped. Didn't fix it, but it helped. So maybe that's information that's helpful for you, my friend. Um, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for your loss. Those people that are the closest to us, those people that are in our hearts in such an intimate way, if you were so blessed to have that close relationship with your sister, it's so difficult. And, time does heal. Um, I think that grief with somebody who's so close to you like that, I don't think it ever goes away. I think it just gets different. And if you talk to people who've lost a parent or lost a child or a sibling, I think it doesn't go away. It just gets different. And, for me personally, it was really about learning to breathe without him being the respirator. We don't realize how much that other person can be the air that we breathe. And it was really about learning to breathe on my own. And I can do it. I'm capable. I'm functional. And I'm all those things. And I enjoy my life, and I'm grateful for my life every single day. But there are definitely those moments where I just feel like still someone has just socked me in the chest and that I just can't breathe. So I understand the loss, and I'm so sorry for your loss, and I'm so grateful that you tuned in today to be able to connect with us. I try and do the cards in the order that they were pulled, but because of how our conversation is going today, I'm so glad it makes sense, Lizzie. I want to start with the third card, and the third card was the ever unfolding rose. Cracked open, it's happening for you and not to you. And I just want to show this because this is really everything that we've just been talking about, is how everything in the universe is happening for us. So I want to share a sweet little story just because it illustrates the point so perfectly. My husband, who I adore, is a pranic energy healer, and he's amazing. And he is in New Jersey for training for pranic healers. There's 400 of them up there, and they're having an amazing time. And he was supposed to come back and yesterday, and then he was going to go to Boca Raton. We live in Central Florida in Orlando, and he was going to go to South Florida to Boca Raton to take some classes that he needed to be able to move into the pranic healing teachers program. And because of what's going on with coronavirus, and I do want to talk about that as well, but because of what's going on with coronavirus, a job that he had later in the month, in next month, canceled because it was in Northern California. And this other job came along in Detroit right now that said, we're doing this right now. And so knowing he had lost a show and picking up another show was really financially important. So he said, okay, I'm going to cancel going to Boca to take these classes that I need because it's really the smart move. Because with so many things canceling because of the virus, we're working for ourselves. We're just not really sure what the next things are going to be. So taking that show that was happening right now financially made a lot of sense. So he went up to New Jersey for the teacher for this conference for the pranic energy healers, and he met with the guy who was like in charge of everything. And the guy said, "Yeah, don't worry about it. We're going to get you in the teacher program anyway. Don't worry about it." And then like 2 days into his conference, he's like, "I never could have taken those classes because my brain is already full of all this information." And then he said, because he was going to go to Boca with people he didn't know, and he met all these people who are from Atlanta, where our son goes to college, and they're like, "Oh, we're doing the class in April. Come up and do the class with us." And so now he's all excited because the class fits in his time and his schedule where there's nothing else he's got to do, and he's going to go to a center where our kid is, and he's going to be able to go with speak of him, he's trying to call me. And he's going to go and be with people who he's, all his friends to take these classes. And so it just worked out perfectly, of course. So the universe took those classes away from him because he wasn't ready to take them. It wasn't going to be the right time for his brain, for his heart, for his schedule, for our finances, and put him in a path of people who he could take the classes with at a more appropriate time for the same price, at a better time, in a better way. He can stay, with friends for free in Atlanta. He's not, and so it just really, the universe, isn't it nice how it all worked out? But the universe always is that way when because he was so mad, bless him, he was so mad And, like his wife is psychic. So I try to tell him, it's going to be okay. I promise you're going to go to New Jersey. You're going to get more information about this. There's a reason. It's going to be fine. He's like, I know there's a reason, but, we're human. We still get so frustrated. And so he called me. He's like, I'm so happy. I'm so excited. This is what all happened. And the universe was lining it up to be in my benefit. So, of course, the universe is lining it up to be in our benefit. We just have to stay out of the way. So that's the most important thing. So I guess we're going to do our cards backwards. So I really wanted to just start with this card. So that's the wrong card. This really was the third card, was the ever unfolding rose. Okay. The ever unfolding rose, that everything in the universe really is happening for us, not to us, not against us, for us, truly. And when we understand that, and when stuff happens, crazy stuff happens, we can really take a breath and really relax and understand that there is a higher providence, a higher power, something that is in control, that is working things out for our benefit. And so when you look at that, so the first card was actually Pillar of Light. And I love this because, especially right now, with everything that says your vibration is rising, you are the oracle. And I love this because, especially right now with everything that's going on with coronavirus, it is so important that we remember that we are the light keepers, we are the light bringers, we are the light sharers. And so while all of the world is in a panic around us, it is so important for us to not be in the panic, and for us to bring in the light and welcome the light and share the light with others. And to do, and from a practical purpose, to please do everything you can to keep yourself healthy. Drink plenty of water, get plenty of rest, lots of vitamin C, take your vitamins, eat good healthy foods, get exercise, stay away from people who may be sick, and do all the things that we can do to keep ourselves protected, okay? But at the same time, the second card of the week today was play. It's play, because this is coming. The coronavirus is coming. There's nowhere on earth that's going to be safe. There's no one that's going to be unscathed, and it's scary and it's sad, but it's something that in the larger picture, what an opportunity for global unification that this virus presents. And I'm not trying to belittle loss, and I'm not trying to, I want everyone to be safe and protected, and I want everyone to be safe and healthy and alive. But at the same time, isn't it an amazing opportunity that we have for global connectedness? So in the midst of this, hey Ryan, in the midst of doing this, and in the midst of all of the things that we need to do to keep ourselves safe, it's so important not to panic. You don't need 97 rolls of toilet paper, but it's really important that we play. It's really important that we keep that sense of love, that sense of humor, that sense of gratitude and joy. It's really important that we play. And so we go backwards to the first. So we had the first card was the Pillar of Light, and that is our job, our responsibility to bring in the light and share that with other people. And don't be part of the freaking out, right? Don't be part of the freaking out. We want to play. We want to keep things light. We want to keep ourselves, keep everybody okay, and keep the light, share the light with everyone, and keep that panic down. And remember that everything that's happening is happening for us and not to us. So there was so much information that is in the news, and I will tell you, as a liberal, I look at the news, and I want to just take certain people in our administration and just slap them across the head and go, what are you doing? Because we knew that this was coming. We knew that this was going to come to our country, and to think that it wouldn't is just naive. We're the most visited country on the planet. Everybody wants to come here. So of course it was going to come here, and for our administration to not be prepared, and our CDC is just doing, his heroic efforts, and our local hospitals and emergency responders are doing just heroic things to keep everyone as safe as they possibly can. And so as we go through this, because it's not really clear right now how long this is going to last, but I think that for sure we're really in for, I think, a couple of rough months, just of this kind of unrest going on. And I hearken back to how it felt in our country after 9/11. But the thing that is so important is that this too shall pass. And even though 9/11 was such a horrific time for our country, it brought us together as Americans. It brought us together as humans, and it brought the world together. And it passed. And, like many people, I don't agree with everything that happened in that time period. But at the same time, we got over it. We got past it, and the economy recovered, and jobs recovered, and new industries were created. So many people come, and are involved, because of Meetup.com. Meetup came out of 9/11 as a way for people to find each other. What an amazing thing! And how many people have joined groups and done networking. I'm sorry, it's getting colder here. And done all these things because of a meetup. So I think it's just an amazing thing. The spiritualist church that I participate in, and where we do a mediumship development circle, I found on a meetup. But all of that came out of 9/11. So remembering that everything is happening for us and not to us, even the coronavirus, everything that is happening for us. And Lizzie is absolutely right. It will help us to be prepared next time, because there will be something. There will always be another thing. Anytime we get past whatever, there will always be something else, because that famous saying, this too shall pass, whether it's something good, appreciate it, hold it with love and gratitude, because this too shall pass. Whether it's something sad or difficult or challenging or scary, this too shall pass. So we just want to hold on to that and know that this too shall pass, and we will be okay. So there is always a blessing. The universe truly is happening for us, even in this coronavirus scary time. So don't be part of the fear. It's okay to be part of the anger and the frustration, but don't be part of the fear. Don't be part of the panic. And just stay in that place of love and gratitude. So I want to share our postcard from the universe from the amazing Colette Baron-Reid. I love these. I do not read these before I pull them. I just pull it out of the box and I say, please show me the card that we're supposed to read today. So I don't read them ahead of time. But it's amazing how they always seem to line up with what we're talking about. So this one says, Dearest you, sometimes it's wonderful to give, but there are times you might find yourself overgiving. Now might be a good time to check and see where you might be cutting off the flow of abundance. Let others give to you, even if you are more comfortable being generous and being the giver, the healer, the rescuer. And especially with everything that's going on right now, it's really important that we are conscious of how we are trying to rescue other people. And just make sure you're keeping yourself safe, washing your hands, antibacterial. Make sure that you're keeping yourself safe. Okay, so if you are more comfortable being the giver and the healer and the rescuer, in the art of living, we sometimes overlook, my phone's going to die. We sometimes overlook, I'm not sure I'm still there. I think I'm there. We sometimes overlook an important skill, receiving gracefully with gratitude without diminishing yourself or trying to deny vulnerability or bringing an agenda of equality to it. Receiving is hard for some people, maybe you. You do not need a this or that in your exchange with others. You're doing good in the world. Let the world give back and support you. Then you can give up the old stories that have you convinced that you have to do everything alone and with no help. Let your well be filled. We all love you so much. If you can still hear me and see me, if you like this video, share it with friends. We're almost at 500 on my page, and I'm so excited for that. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I love you all. Bye. I'm back. Okay. Hello. All right. I'm not sure. Oh, my phone died. I'm not sure where we left off with the Colette's card from the universe. So if you're still with me, I'm gonna have you come inside and get a phone charger. So let me finish reading that. I'll read it again. Sorry about all that. So this says, with Colette's notes from the universe, it says, I'm all windblown. It says, Dearest you, sometimes it's wonderful to give, but there are times when you might find yourself overgiving. Now might be a good time to check in and see where you might be cutting off the flow of abundance. Let others give to you, even if you are more comfortable being generous and being the giver, the healer, and the rescuer. In the art of living, we sometimes overlook an important skill, receiving gracefully and with gratitude, without diminishing yourself or trying to deny vulnerability or bringing an agenda of equality to it. Sometimes, hi, Linda, how are you, my love? You guys, sometimes it is so hard to let other people do things for us. It is so hard to be the one, like especially women, strong women, we're like, I got this, I got this, I got this. It is so hard to be vulnerable. Sometimes it is so difficult with that. So receiving is hard for some people, maybe you. You don't need to have a this or that in your exchange with others. You're doing good in the world. Let the world give back and support you. And then you can give up the old stories that have you convinced that you have to do everything alone with no help. Let your well be filled. We all love you so much. The universe. I think that's so important, especially because, especially right now in this time of the coronavirus and people are like freaking out, you don't have to do everything for everybody else, but it is important that you are taking care of yourself and taking care of your family and just being prepared, but it is important that we are aware. And just, there are times when it's okay for us to say no. No is a complete sentence for us to be able to say, no, I can't do that right now. Thank you so much for thinking of me. I can't do that right now. And just make sure that you are staying in the light, right? So we have our pillar of light card, and that you're staying in the light. You're playing, this is serious times and people are freaking out, and this is serious stuff that's going on, and it's so easy to get caught up in all the drama and the yuck. And so I'm telling you, stay in the light, stay in the play, stay in the joy, stay in the joy. I know things are canceling. I know people are canceling trips, and they're, I know stuff's, that's being frustrating. Stay in the joy. Stay in the joy of time with friends and family. My girlfriend's son goes to school in Italy, and they sent them all home for obvious reasons. And so he's quarantined in the house. And she, because she's the mother and she works in a place where there's lots of people, she spoke with her leadership job, and they all agreed that it was probably best for her to self-quarantine, just in case, there's no reason to think he's ill, there's no reason to think she's ill, but just in case, it would be a good idea for her to quarantine, and work from home for 14 days while he is quarantined. And I thought, and she's so frustrated. And I thought, don't be silly. Now you're going to have 14 days of your son who lives in Italy, 14 days all to yourself with your son. That's fantastic. I mean, they can't snuggle or, lick each other. I'm telling you, people, let's wash your hands. Don't lick somebody, just keep your stuff to yourself. But I think it's just so wonderful that the opportunities we have to embrace friends and family through times of strife. So just remembering that the universe is happening for us. It's all happening for us. And thank you so much for being part of my video this week. Thank you so much for spending some time with me this week. We are so close to 500 people on my page. I'm so excited. If you like this video, share it with a friend. And thank you so much for hanging in with me while my phone was, gasping for battery. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. And thank you for spending some time. Just stay healthy, eat healthy, rest, drink lots of fluids, vitamin C, wash your hands. Don't lick anybody. It's all good. Have a great day. I love you.